Hi, I'm Alex, and today I want to do a review of the MX Master 3, a mouse that's so good I bought it twice. Well, technically I didn't buy exactly the same mouse. I bought the MX Master 3 and the MX Master 3 Mac, but the only reason I bought it twice is I've got two offices, two locations that I use most days. The mouse is just this big, and I just found it a little bit too big to take between the two locations. So I completely forgot I used this mouse, and that's how good it was. I wasn't going to do a review of this mouse at all. However, a friend of mine, Oliver, did a review on his MX Master mouse, and that reminded me that the mouse exists. And because it's so good, I wanted to just put my view, go into some details, and just help you out there if you're interested in buying it. If you want a summary of this mouse, then it's quite expensive, but if you've got the money, I think it's a great buy. If you'd like to know a little bit more about my use case, who I am, and the details of this mouse, then stick around for the review. By day, I'm a professional advisor. I spend a lot of time on the computer. I'm in Word, I'm in Excel, I'm in my emails, I'm on Teams, I'm on Zoom, I'm on the web, I'm using specific apps. All day long, I've generally got several screens open, and my mouse is my gateway to my computer. So that's sort of my use case. I don't game at all with it. And I do use the computer really regularly. So having a really decent piece of kit, making sure that it's saving me time, helping with my productivity is key to me. So that's a little bit about who I am and what my use case is for this mouse. Wait for it, this mouse is £100. It's also $100 and €100. It's an expensive mouse. Now, I didn't really want to start off with the price in the sense that it's not features, it's not benefits, it doesn't tell you what the mouse does. But importantly, if you're not looking to spend £100 on a mouse, then this mouse isn't for you. I was looking on Amazon earlier, and you can get fantastic rated mice from about £10. And if you are looking for the details and the features and want to know what this mouse can do, you've tried other mice but they don't quite work, then absolutely, this mouse does an awful lot, but I need to be upfront and clear that it is not a cheap mouse, and you need to be in the market for that sort of price. So I was having a look online to see what materials this mouse is made from, and I couldn't find the details of it anywhere. It definitely has some metal at the bottom. These definitely has plastic bits, which do feel like quality plastic. I can't quite work out what is on top of this, and I was looking. Importantly, in terms of build, I can tell you it weighs 141 grams, which is a little bit less than a smallish modern day smartphone, but that really doesn't matter. What matters is it does feel like a sturdy bit of kit. Anywhere I hold this mouse, it feels comfortable in the hand, and it's got some pads on the bottom, and it just glides along. So in terms of build, in terms of feeling sturdy, in terms of feeling like it's not going to break, it is a quality piece of kit, and the build does feel really good. So just as importantly as the build is the ergonomics of this mouse. How it feels, where everything's placed. And ergonomics, I was looking at a dictionary definition, is the science of making a product work in the workplace to be productive, to be comfortable. And certainly one of the reasons that I didn't even think about this mouse and don't think about this mouse is I put my hand on this mouse and it just sits there and feels comfortable. I could almost leave it there more comfortably than not putting it anywhere. It feels at rest. When I've got my hand here, I've got the left and the right click underneath my two fingers there. I have a hidden thumb button underneath my thumb that in the way I use it gives me options to open up everything on the screen. I've got a scroll wheel here that's quality metal, and importantly, either clicks one at a time, so you can go down one line at a time. There's a button up here that allows you to have a free scroll of that wheel. It gives you another option there. On here, on the left, right near the thumb, you've got a scroll wheel that goes left to right or zooms depending on how you set it up. And finally, you've got a forward and back button or a do and undo button, just as your thumb here. So from an ergonomics perspective, your hand just rests here, and within sort of millimeters, you're either straight on where you want to be, where you need to be, or you have so many options that mean that productively, you've got the comfort and you've got access to everything, which means you don't need to access your keyboard as much. It's all just there. A lot of thought has gone into the ergonomics of this mouse, the options, and it is a fantastic sort of productivity tool in that way. Although technically, you can just use this mouse, connect it to your computer. Importantly, you can't connect it via a wire, it has to be wirelessly. Once it's connected to the computer, you can just use it, but it also connects to Logitech's option software. And all the buttons that I mentioned in the ergonomics section, all are customizable. Customizable to such a degree that through that software, you can change how the mouse reacts and what it does differently in different apps. Now for me, one of the things I always change is the way the scroll wheel moves. It's down by default as standard, and I prefer it to be natural. It just feels better when I'm moving it, but there are so many different options for each of the buttons. Now, for someone who isn't good with software, although it's a really simple piece of software to use, really I've never had any issues in terms of it not working, the number of options might be a little bit daunting. But I think for a lot of people who are going to spend £100 on a mouse, they will know what they want and need from a mouse, and having that flexibility and that customizability is really, really important. So for me, the software works really well, and being able to customize the mouse to work for you in your use case is a really great option. So the battery is really simple. It charges at the front via a USB-C cable. It charges really quickly, so it says within 1 minute you can have 3 hours of use, and fully charged it will last for 70 days. Now, I have not tested this day in, day out and seen whether it lasts 70 days, whether it lasts more, whether it lasts less. Importantly, it lasts an awful long time, enough that I do not think about the battery 1 week to the next. It's got a little indicator light here, and that goes red when it's running out of batteries. You plug it in, it goes green to let you know that it's charging. Go through that process once every 2-3 months, and then you forget about it again. So the battery is absolutely fantastic. In terms of the connectivity, you can either connect it via Bluetooth, or there's a little dongle that comes with it that I don't use because in all of my devices I've got Bluetooth. Now at the bottom here, you can touch that there. It's really easy, there's a button there, hold it for a few seconds and it goes into pairing mode. And you can pair up to 3 devices at once. So what that means is if you've got a computer in one place, maybe you're connecting it to an iPad or a phone or another computer somewhere else, then you just turn the mouse over, press the button, and it will seamlessly connect to your other device. So in terms of connectivity, in terms of battery, they're both seamless. There's lots of options in terms of how to connect it to the device. I think the only drawback for some people in terms of connectivity is the fact that it can't use a wired connection. Other than that, all brilliant. The tracking is really, really boring, but I want to cover it specifically because in my mind, a mouse needs to do a minimum of 2 things. Have these 2 buttons nice and clickable and working every time, and whatever it's using here needs to work flawlessly. Now, I remember a long, long time ago, we had the old balls in mice, and the mice used to jump anywhere and everywhere, and it was one of the most frustrating experiences I remember. I think that's part of the reason why having a quality mouse that tracks perfectly every time is really, really important to me. So what Logitech say is that this has 4000 DPI and dark field, something. They say it can go on glass and pretty much any surface. Importantly, I have used lots of other mice over the years. I occasionally use other people's mice, and I haven't ever come across anything that matches this in terms of just, you put it on any surface and it just works. So it's not the most exciting element. You know, you can't see anything. There's a tiny thing just there that does everything for you, but tracking for me is one of the keys to a good mouse, and the MX Master 3 tracks flawlessly. So in summary, who's this mouse for? Well, importantly, it isn't for most people. This mouse is £100. It's the Rolls Royce of mice. Most people don't go driving Rolls Royces day in, day out, and most people won't be going and buying the MX Master 3. Also, importantly, I don't think it's for gamers. Gamers like wired mice, they like mice that have lots of different colours. This is wireless only and really boring, really corporate colours. However, I absolutely love this mouse. I think it's great. And for the market that is professionals, that people that can afford it, the people that will probably put this mouse as a business expense, essentially reducing the cost, people that are using computers for hours, day in, day out, and having access to the customizability and all the options that this mouse provides, it is, as far as I'm aware, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best out there. And for those people, I think this mouse is absolutely great. So I hope you've liked that video. I hope you found it useful. And if you'd like to join me on my YouTube journey, you know, help learn, see what's out there, help each other, create a community, then please hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, I've been Alex. Thanks.